We don't talk enough about footballs. We're always quick to judge the quality of players, the manager's tactics, but never question the characteristics of the balls used. That's because, for the most part, they're all the same, except for one. In this video, I'm gonna explain how this ball caused absolute chaos and made some footballers too good. One of the most notable events leading up to the start of a FIFA World Cup tournament is undoubtedly the unveiling of the official match ball. Although it may appear to be about as irrelevant as the baby at times, the importance of this major event has become clearer down the years. The first World Cup to take place in Africa saw the release of the Adidas Jabulani ball, which came to prominence at the 2010 FIFA World Cup, meaning "be happy" in Zulu. Jabulani will forever be remembered for the tournament in South Africa because of its alleged supernatural powers. Unlike the 32 spheres used to make a regular ball, the famous Jabulani included 8 spherically molded panels to give it a perfect sphere shape and improve its aerodynamics. More on that later, wink wink. The ball also had 4 triangular design elements on a white background, as 11 different colors were used, representing the 11 starting players in a match, the 11 official languages of South Africa, and the 11 South African communities. Nevertheless, the Jabulani quickly became one of the biggest talking points of the 2010 World Cup, as players from all over the world were frustrated, with long passes going astray and free kicks flying into oblivion. Much of this pre- and post-tournament criticism was based on the fact that the ball greatly favored players who often shot with the knuckleball technique. This is because the Jabulani was so light that the ball flew very fast when struck, causing it to unpredictably change direction and thus became a headache for goalkeepers and defenders as well as strikers. There was fierce outcry, and Italian goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon said, "The new model is absolutely inadequate, and I think it's shameful letting us play such an important competition where a lot of champions take part with a ball like this." Brazilian striker Luis Fabiano also complained about the difficulties hitting the ball with accuracy, saying, "All of a sudden, it changes trajectory on you. I think it's supernatural. It's very bad." After a general lack of confidence with the ball in the first round of group stage games, players came to terms with it by the second round, and following Portugal's 7-0 victory over North Korea, Portugal coach Carlos Queiroz admitted, "We love the ball." Amidst the global uproar and discontent with the most important instrument on a football pitch, Uruguay's number 10 had other plans. Diego Forlan, who was renowned for his powerful long shots and accurate set pieces, was already one step ahead of everybody else, as he quickly realized there could be problems with the Jabulani ball ahead of the tournament. The then Atletico Madrid forward had requested Adidas to send him a Jabulani ball months before the World Cup and worked tirelessly to master the unique flight of the ball. Lots of practice, a lot of training, and again, a lot of practice. I got lucky, and the Jabulani behaved very well back then, and we got along great. Yeah, this ball had officially been given a life of its own. In the second group game against host South Africa, Forlan picked the ball up 35 yards away from goal and unleashed a ferocious strike that swerved over the confused goalkeeper before tipping into the net at the last moment. This moment of magic stunned the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, as the vibrant home support was brought to a rare hush. In hindsight, that goal marked a sign of things to come. The Uruguayans progressed to the knockout stage and were up against Ghana in that famous quarterfinal tie, where they were 1-0 down to Suli Muntari's long ranger just before half-time. Despite never scoring from a direct free kick for Manchester United, Villarreal, or Atletico Madrid, Forlan tried his luck from wide, and the speed of his shot was too much for Richard Kingston in goal. He was the Jabulani whisperer. The semi-final tie with the Netherlands confirmed everyone's suspicion about Forlan and his infamous toy. Although Giovanni van Bronckhorst produced a stunning strike from distance to open the scoring, Forlan would not be outdone by his opponent. The forward majestically shifted the ball onto his weaker left foot before producing a shot that swerved in the air and bewitched Martin Stecklenburg, who only got a finger to it. Yet, Forlan was unable to keep Les Celestes' World Cup dream alive, as quickfire goals from Wesley Schneider and Ian Robben turned the game in the favor of the Dutch. Uruguay and their marksmen were now out of the World Cup, but a final moment of magic was reserved for the third place playoff, where Forlan hit an accurate acrobatic half volley that bounced past Germany's Hans-Jörg Butt for the eventual goal of the tournament. A free kick smashed against the crossbar with the game's final kick concluded one of the most remarkable individual World Cup showings of all time. Indeed, Forlan's performances in South Africa saw him win the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player, the Golden Boot for the joint most goals, and he was also picked in the team of the tournament. The same player who was dubbed as a flop at Manchester United was now a star on the biggest stage in the world, as he became the first player since Lothar Matthäus in 1990 to score 3 goals from outside the box in a single tournament. Later in 2010, a group of NASA scientists tested the performance of the Jabulani design against the 2006 design, which had also received criticism. Rabbi Mehta, an aerospace engineer at NASA, described the unusual flight of the ball as a knuckleball effect. When a ball is struck with little spin, it experiences asymmetric airflow effects to cause unpredictable movement. The speed at which the ball is struck majorly affects its behavior, as older designs recorded a knuckling effect close to 30 miles per hour. The scientists predicted the Jabulani to experience the effect at a speed of up to 55 miles per hour due to the smoother surface. The mystique surrounding the Jabulani was too much to take for everyone except Diego Forlan, and as a result, the production of the much maligned ball ceased after 2 years. And so ended the story of the craziest and most talked about football of all time. The ball that demanded headlines, dominated press conferences, and made players too good.
Have to say bye bye yo, bye bye yo. Have to say bye bye yo.